fairly exciting video for Nintenjoel. Doing my first collaboration video with two other guys. We are just going to be talking about our top 10 Super Nintendo games, and there's going to be two other guys besides me. One of them is Kyle from PMR Productions, and the other guy is going to be Markus Simpson, who I've been talking to for quite a while and has an excellent Super Nintendo collection. So these guys have some interesting picks, but first let's go through mine real quick. Okay, so these are really hard to do. These are just our personal favorites, and it did take me a little bit of time to go through mine because I wasn't exactly sure which order to put them in. It was really tough coming up with an order. Some games that I love got bumped off the list, and that was really tough. And the hardest one actually was number 10. Number 10 is Turtles in Time, Turtles 4. Excellent beat 'em up. Great game. Excellent graphics. Was ported from the arcade. The music was really phenomenal. And it's very good on the Super Nintendo. Just definitely one of the greatest games. The problem I had was I wanted to put another game on this list, and that was Mario Kart. Mario Kart barely got edged out. I'd say that's number 11. But Turtles in Time, phenomenal game. If you have not played it, it is so worth your time. Number 9 may be a surprise to some people. It's kind of a surprise to me. Pocky and Rocky is a game that I keep coming back to over and over. It is such a great shooter, more of a cute 'em up than a shoot 'em up actually, because the graphics are kind of cute. You're a little dude walking around on the ground shooting cards, and there's a little bear that follows you if you're playing in two-player action, and he does all kinds of cool attacks. You guys can do combined attacks, but it's actually pretty much a shooter with kind of Legend of Zelda type graphics. Phenomenal game, and really hard, so it keeps you coming back for more. It's not something you can just beat easily. I have yet to get too horribly far in the game actually, even on two-player. It's a pretty tough game, so yeah, Pocky and Rocky, great game. Number 8, Secret of Evermore. Now, Secret of Evermore is a video game that I have talked about a few times on my channel. I absolutely love it. It's just one of those RPGs that kind of got ignored due to Secret of Mana being so awesome. But it's basically the same type of game, same type of RPG, very similar graphics, very similar gameplay, same item wheel and equip wheel. And what's really cool about it is you gather little elements along your journey, and you combine those elements together to make spells, and therefore your spells are limited to how many of these elements you have. For instance, there's like wax and stone and all kinds of stuff like that. But Secret of Evermore, if you have not played it and you like Secret of Mana, definitely play it. There's obviously going to be a lot of RPGs on this list. I'm an RPG lover. But that's the first one. So, number 7 is kind of a surprise to me as well, because I just picked this game up not too horribly long ago. That is Earthbound. Now, Earthbound, at first to me, was not worth the hype. It was certainly a great game, don't get me wrong. I was very happy to have it, and was very happy to play it as long as I played it. I literally beat this game today. I just beat this game a few hours ago, and I'm really stoked, and I have to say, it's one of the most rewarding endings I've seen in a Super Nintendo RPG. First of all, the way that you go about beating the last boss and just the last few minutes, moments of the fight really made me say, oh, how really cool was that? And then you get to go back and just explore some things, and it's just a really neat ending to top off an already great game. And you know what? It kind of is worth the hype. I hate to say it, but unless you've gone through the entire game and experienced the entire thing, how hard it is, how difficult it is, and how many things it takes you through, and that ending, you have no idea. It is worth the hype. It may not be worth $200. In my opinion, no games are worth $200. But Earthbound definitely is worth a play. That's for damn sure. So if you can, play that game. It's freaking excellent. Number 6. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now, this game I am kind of reliving through my girlfriend right now. She's playing this for the first time, and boy, is she frustrated as shit at it, but she's starting to get there, and it's a game that I used to be quite frustrated with. It's a hard game. It's not something that you can just pick up in one sitting and just go for it and just, bam, get it done. There's 2 worlds, there's a lot to explore, you don't exactly know where you're going all the time. It's kind of tough. So, The Legend of Zelda's music and the graphics and just everything about it, gameplay style, make up for its difficulty. Some people think it's an easy game. I don't think it's easy. I think it's fairly hard sometimes. If you haven't played it in a long time, it definitely is. Anyways, moving on. I don't have much time. Shadowrun, number 5. This is an obvious one for watchers of my channel. Shadowrun is an RPG that is really unique. It's a cyberpunk RPG, and it's more of a tabletop style RPG, like a PC RPG. Actually, you actually have kind of mouse control, and it's just a really interesting game. I highly suggest you check out gameplay footage of it. When I did, that's when I was really convinced. I was like, wow, I need to play this. This looks like nothing I've ever played before, and it indeed is still, there's nothing like it. So yes, Shadowrun. Not a surprise to watchers of my channel, but if you've never played it, you need to play it. Obvious on this list, Castlevania 4. Yeah, how could I not include that? Castlevania 4 is an amazing game, amazing graphics, phenomenal music, probably some of the best music on the system, no joke. I think that it has some of the best tunes ever on almost any system. Such good music, and play control is perfect. It's the one Castlevania where you can whip in 8 directions, and that really is helpful towards achieving a lot of ass kickery. And yeah, just the entire thing, it's really awesome, and it's difficult enough that it keeps you coming back for more. I still haven't beat that game yet. I'm right at the end, so maybe that's one of the next ones to be on the chopping block for me to destroy. But if you have not played Castlevania 4, get it. It is amazing. And get it before the price is ridiculous. This one's obvious. Super Mario World, number 3. I mean, number 3 is Super Mario World. This one I don't even need to explain. Probably the greatest platformer of its kind, really, ever. I mean, seriously, is there a better platformer than Super Mario World? Maybe Mario 3, but I doubt it. And it's not on the Super Nintendo. So in this, for the more cartoony platformers, man, Castlevania 4 and Mario World, it's like, geez, those are freaking crazy awesome. But yeah, Mario World, I don't even need to explain. And the other platformer, Jesus Christ, Super Metroid. How can you go wrong with this? Dark, brooding, you're by yourself, female protagonist, just fun as hell, really fun to go back through. The replay value on Super Metroid is really high. I've beaten it multiple times. If you have not played Super Metroid, get it before the price goes skyrocketing up, because it's going to. My number 1 game for Super Nintendo is Final Fantasy III, otherwise known as Final Fantasy VI in Japan. This is my favorite Final Fantasy game, hands down. I do like 7, I do like 9, I like 1, I like 2, otherwise known as 4 in Japan, even like 5, which is not one that many people have played, but Final Fantasy III with its graphics, story, music, sound effects, just nature of the game. And for nostalgia's sake too, when I first discovered that game, I was just blown away. So anyways, that's it for my top 10 list. So I'm going to move on to the very next person, which is going to be Markus. And let's see what Markus has to say about his top 10 Super Nintendo games.
Whoa. What's going on, YouTube land? My name is Markus Simpson, the SNES Collector. I would like to thank my good friend Nintenjoel for having me on this particular segment of his new thing he's trying out on YouTube in terms of making his videos, but with me and other fellow YouTubers. So without further ado, I would like to get into my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. I believe number 1 is going to be Donkey Kong Country, and this actually is going to be the competition card. If you have not checked out my videos, I just recently got the actual Donkey Kong Country display not too long ago, so the link is going to be in the description below, and make sure you check me out. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. I really like the first Donkey Kong Country, which is this one. Yeah, I like in terms of the music and the gameplay and stuff like that. It was something at the time that was really different that came out for the Super Nintendo system at the time. And this game was actually released on my birthday, so love me some Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. The next game is going to be The Adventures of Batman and Robin. I love this game because it's one of those love and hate games, because it's actually really hard. I've beaten the whole game on Batman, The Return of Batman, no, what is it? Batman Returns, which I have it right here, and Batman Forever, but I have not beaten the whole game on this. This is one of those love and hate games. Like, it's extremely hard, and I was so disappointed when Robin was not on this game, but I really love it. I'm just gonna have to put it in my top 10. I'm still playing this to this day. I'm still playing it. I have not beaten this game, but yeah, moving on. My next favorite game is going to have to be Super Double Dragons for the Super Nintendo. I remember playing this game as a kid, going over my cousin's house. I always used to love playing with Billy. I could never, as a child, I could never get past the 4th level, but as an adult, when you put these games down for a while and you come back to them, you know, they seem kind of easy, but this game is a fairly decent, hard, not too hard, not too easy beat 'em up game. And yeah, this goes in, you know, my top 10. Moving on, I'll have to put, some people are gonna hate me for this, but Baby Kids for the Super Nintendo. If you're gonna think about picking up this game, please, I recommend you getting the instruction manual to go along with it. This is one of those games where I feel like it's kinda underrated, other than the main reason why it gets a bad rap is because of one particular level, and that's actually the 3rd level. It's this level that you're in a haunted house, and it's really difficult because you got to go in different rooms to try to find your way out of the haunted house. And that's the only downfall of this game, is just that particular level right there, because in the beginning, if you're playing this game, you don't know what the hell to do. But other than that, this game is an awesome beat 'em up game. I wouldn't say not too hard, not too easy, right in the middle, just like how I was saying on Super Double Dragons. But love this game, and I also like playing with all the females in pretty much any game I play in. So I love playing with LaShawn in this game. So moving on, I have Saturday Night Slam Masters for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I love wrestling games for the Super Nintendo, and Capcom pretty much made this game, and I love it. I have this one actually as my intro of my YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. I'm sorry to keep trying to self-promote myself on your channel, Joe, but just gotta squeeze that in there, buddy. Moving on, it's gonna be Knights of the Round. This game pretty much speaks for itself. I'm not going to say too much of it. Capcom made this game as well, and it's one of them awesome side-scroller beat-em-up games. So this goes in my top 10 as well. Moving on to a not semi, but another fighting game is going to be Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I cannot wait till the new Mortal Kombat comes out, like in April, I believe. Yeah, I love playing with Sindel in this game, and I know how to do all the fatalities, the brutalities. I do not know how to do the animalities, but yeah, I love playing this game. Beat 'em ups, fighting games, that's all me all around. But this game, this has to go in my top 3. So another game. Moving on, everyone has this in their top 10 of favorite Super Nintendo games, so it was only right if I added it to mine. It's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, and this is actually going to be the not for resale version of the game. This basically game, what you do in this game, you fight in a current status. let's say what this game came out in 94, 93. So you're fighting, you know, trying to get to Shredder or what have you. You make it to the Technodrome, and he takes you back in time. Then you fight dinosaurs, and then you're on pirate ships and stuff like that. Then you make it all the way to the future to finally defeat Shredder. So if you have not checked this out, which I know everyone has, and they have this in their collection, Turtles in Time is going to have to be in my top 10. Moving on, it's going to be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, sorry this label's kind of messed up, but I just recently got this game last year. I was looking out for this game forever because I wanted to get a find it for a good price. I have all the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers games, and I have to say I like this one more than the rest of them because this gives you an opportunity to play with 2 players instead of 1. In how they did it in the other previous games they had on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game, this didn't really stay true to the actual movie because I like the Sega version better than this one. But it's awesome, man. An awesome little beat 'em up game you could play with, you know, your old lady or your mom or your dad or what have you. Yeah, I love this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game. Last but not least, it's gonna be WrestleMania, the arcade game. I love this game, and I used to play this game a lot in the arcade back in the early 90s. And when they actually made a home port of this game, I was on it. I love playing this game, and I love the characters I love playing with is of course the Heartbreak Kid, as well as Razor Young. What's his name? Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall, I believe. You know, had that toothpick in his mouth and throw it at the camera. Like, get out of here. But yeah, that completes my top 10. I appreciate it, you know, Nintenjoel, for having me on your channel, and back to you.
Get off of me, you blood-sucking freak! Jesus Christ, do I kill one and run away? Oh, you guys are back. Jesus. Hey, Marcus, that was a really awesome video. Wrestling games on Super Nintendo. I don't think I've ever played a wrestling game on a Super Nintendo system, so I'm going to actually have to check that out. Other things of note, Turtles in Time. Yeah, you said that had to be on everybody's list. That almost didn't make mine. Crazy. But yeah, it did, just barely. Mario Kart had to get bumped out. Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, that is a great game. Probably would be in my top 15. However, it's the only Mortal Kombat game I don't have for Super Nintendo. Weird. And I used to have it when I was a teenager. No idea what happened to it. Last comment, Knights of the Round. Really? How jealous are you trying to make me? I've been looking for that game forever. If any of you guys know where Knights of the Round is, let me know because I need it. Anyways, that's it for Marcus. Thank you very much for an excellent, excellent list, although a very unusual one. A lot of games I've never even played. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to Kyle's list from PMR Productions. Ha! I remembered it. Ha! Ha ha ha!
Hi, I'm Chris from PMR Productions, and my face is on camera. Must be a big event. Oh yes, this is a collaboration with Nintenjoel. He asked me to chime in on my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo games. And because I'm such a nice guy, I'm going to help out. And if you like what you see here, check out my YouTube channel. Just type in PMR Productions, all lower caps. Check me out, and trust me, this face is nowhere on my actual YouTube page. So there's one plus right off the bat. Anyway, let's go to my number 10 list of favorite Super Nintendo games. Strictly for nostalgic reasons, it's Mario Paint. I know it's an odd choice, but seeing how I got this when I was, I believe, either the 2nd or the 3rd grade, it was perfect for me. And I do think that this is the type of game that at the right age is absolutely magic. And you can make pictures, you can make music, you can make animation, and it's all on a blank canvas. You choose what you want to do, and I think that's what the magic of this game is. So, number 10, Mario Paint, which means there's going to be a lot of classics that didn't make this list, and you'll have this one to blame for it. But then again, it's my list, so you can blame me. Okay, number 9, we have Rock and Roll Racing. I'm holding in front of me the Japanese version because I don't have the American one anymore. But just like RC Pro-Am, this is a isometric racing game with weapons, and it's just great action, and one of the first games made by Blizzard. So there's a nice trivia question for you. Rock and Roll Racing. If you don't have this, find a way to try it out. The Japanese version is a lot cheaper than the American, but it's the exact same game. Awesome experience if you're into RC Pro-Am and isometric battle shooters like that. Number 8, we have ActRaiser. ActRaiser I did not play as a child at all. I discovered this during my emulation phase in high school, which is dating me. But anyway, this mixes simulation, RPG, and action platforming very well. And I even played the sequel. The sequel, not that good. But this one, this is a classic. This is ActRaiser by Enix. My number 8 pick. Number 7 on my list. Once again, I don't have the American version because it's pricey as hell. It's Mega Man X2. Fun fact, this is the very first Mega Man game I ever played. I remember I was in the 2nd grade, I had bronchitis. My mom bought me a gaming magazine, and this was the cover story. And of course, I read about this game, and I want to try it out because I'm 2nd grade, all hyped up, and back then that's all we had to go by, so picked up this game at the rental store, rented a couple times, blew my mind, hard as hell, cannot beat it, worth a damn, but Mega Man X2. A lot of people like the first one better or the third one better. For me, it's the second for nostalgic reasons. That is number 6. Sorry, number 7. This is number 6. Number 6! And I dropped it, oh my god, hope I didn't break it. Oh well, we'll test it out later. It's Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. Awesome game. I first played this when I was borrowing it from a friend. He was actually wanting me to beat it for him, and I did. A great sequel. Kind of a one-of-its-kind deal where, they try to make sequels now and it doesn't really work out the same as this one did. And anyone else remember the weird commercial where it had this fat guy that kept on eating and eating until he exploded? Yeah, just kind of an odd thing I like to throw in. But yeah, Yoshi's Island. What else do I need to say? We've all played this and we all love it. Number 5. A little bit of a curveball, but it kind of matches what I like to do nowadays for gaming. With being a retro collector, it's Space Megaforce, because I've become heavily invested into vertical scrolling old school shooting games, and a lot of the shooter games on the Super Nintendo run terribly because it can't keep up with the action. The frame rate just drops and it just looks bad. This one does not. This one has a whole buttload of weapons to choose from, a lot of great action, and it's vertical scrolling, the kind I like. Unfortunately, it's quite pricey nowadays, but I got this before, prices went up the hill. It's Space Megaforce. Great title for into shooting games. Number 4 is Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. My favorite of all the Donkey Kong Country games. I'm not sure if I like this more than Tropical Freeze, but it's more nostalgic, that's for sure. Another game I borrowed from a friend, and he paid me with candy to beat it for him. Kind of weird how that worked out, and then I grew up thinking I was some great gamer, and now I'm an adult and I'm terrible. But I love this game. I love playing as Dixie Kong. That's one of my weird things in gaming. She's my favorite character to play as in platforming games because of her tail whipping around and everything. Great title. Really, you can't go wrong with any of the Donkey Kong Country games, but this is my favorite, so that is what makes the list. Number 3 is something, once again, I discovered during my high school emulation days when I thought I was a pirate. I like to play games, I'm going to steal them. It's Final Fantasy II. I did not play this as a kid at all because I was not into RPGs until I played Pokemon, which is oddly enough a game series a lot of people don't consider RPGs, but yeah, it got me hooked, and this is my only Final Fantasy game I really play at all. I don't feel like I should go on to Final Fantasy 3 until I finish this one, which I've yet to do. Part of me does want to finish it because I don't want the fun to end. But yeah, just great RPG, I love it. Final Fantasy 2, and I know it's remade to hell, but there's not enough remakes in my opinion of this game. I love it. Love it. I'll buy it for every system I have. Number 2, I am cheating. I'm a cheating bastard when it comes to number 2. It is a combo card of Super Mario World and Super Mario All-Stars. Because why not cram 2 games in one and give it its own list and make room for Mario Paint? Because I'm crazy, that's why. Super Mario All-Stars, this has all the classic Mario games from the NES. And Super Mario World, the game that sold the system, the reason it was invented. This is the epitome of old school platforming right here. This is the cartridge you need if you can only have one for platforming. This is it. Love it. And number 1, for those who follow my channel, you've seen this coming a mile away because it's my favorite game of all time. Yes, numero uno, or however you say it in Spanish. I'm American, I don't know how to say Spanish at all. It's The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. This is my favorite game. I remember I got it for Christmas about a year after I got my Nintendo, my Super Nintendo I should say. Dear Lord, it blew me away. Legend of Zelda on the NES, one of my favorites for that system, but I never took it too seriously. This one just cranked it up to 11. Still haven't beaten it because I'm lazy and I don't want the magic to end, but man, if you got a Super Nintendo, you have this game, and if you don't, you need it. And that's all I gotta say. That is my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo games. Once again, I'd like to thank Nintenjoel for inviting me to collaborate with him on this. And until next time.
Oh, Castlevania 2, you're so misunderstood. Why do people hate you? You were so innovative. Sure, you were pretty weird and maybe a little cryptic, but you're a pretty good game overall. God, nobody gives us love. Oh crap, you guys are back again. Jesus Christ, keep sneaking up on me. Kyle, very good video. Thank you very much for that top 10 list. There's a couple things I want to say about yours too. Your ingenious Super Mario World / Mario All-Star Kart. Yeah, that was a pretty good maneuver there, buddy. Way to include like 5 games in one. Wish I could have done that myself, but I don't have that cartridge, so good one on that. Yoshi's Island, amazing game. Who doesn't love Yoshi's Island? Such a great game. And last comment I have on your video is same thing as Marcus. Are you killing me with Space Megaforce? I have been looking for that game forever. What the hell? Everybody's got that game but me. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you very much to Markus Simpson. Check out Markus Simpson's channel. It's going to be in the description below, and of course put it on the screen down below. And be sure to check out Kyle's channel. His channel is PMR Productions. Be sure to check out his channel. He's got a great personality for it. And thank you guys very much for doing contributions. I very much appreciate it. I think this video is going to be great. And that's all I have for you guys. Keep rocking the retro games. Alright guys, I'm sure you guys like contests, and there is an unexpected contest attached to this video. There wasn't going to be, I had no plans for a contest, but when I was going through the footage for editing, I noticed a major discrepancy in this video. First person to spot that discrepancy that also is subscribed and also likes the video will win a game. The game will be up to you. You will get to choose from a few different consoles, and then I will actually choose the game, much like my last contest. So basically all you have to do is spot the discrepancy, comment on it below, make sure you like the video, and make sure you are subscribed. You are automatically entered. First person to get that discrepancy, I will be looking at the times on the comments, will win a free game. So that's all I have for you guys. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. Be sure to check out Marcus's channel, and be sure to check out PMR Productions, and keep rocking the retro games.